Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Not Your Asian Women podcast. I'm Christine Chang.
I'm Shining. Here's the link.
If you would like to see more episodes, we need
Money.
we need money to cover production costs.
Yeah.
So if you would like to buy us a coffee or just put a little $5-10,
It's not free to look this good.
the links are below. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Are you still married?
Yeah. 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 There's like, I mean, the joy you get from a committed marriage relationship is it's definitely a trade-off, because I live carelessly through my single hot friends.
That's what we do. Yeah, after you get married. I remember when I was single, I had a friend who was older. She had been married for maybe 10 years, and she would love to hear our dating stories. And she said, I'm vicariously living through you because I don't have that unknown anymore of what can be.
Oh yeah, and I need to see all the dick pics that got sent to my friends.
By the way, if you're sending naked nude photos, you have to be okay that they're showing other people.
Oh, I mean, guys, I don't think they care at all.
Or they might end up on the internet someday. When you're younger, you don't have that foresight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
possibly,
for sure.
but just it's not a smart thing to do unless you really don't care. It's going to get circulated around. No matter how much you trust somebody.
Yeah, definitely. There's some naked photos of me out there. When I first started the online stuff and then gained a little bit of following, I told my husband, like, hey, if there's some, like, because I talk shit about my exes and stuff, and I said there's a possibility that somebody out there is gonna put a revenge porn out of me or something, just give you a heads up.
Yeah.
And then like I asked him, like, do you mind? And then he said, well, I mean, you look hot, so.
Did he really say
Yeah.
that? I love Brad.
Yeah, he's very supportive of that. So, and yeah, so if young guys out there, if you're sending nudes, just know that all of her friends, no, and her friends, no. So if you do take nudes, take good ones. Lightings and all that.
Lighting.
If you're not like girthy or nothing, don't even try. We'll make fun of you. Yeah, so I have this few girlfriends that are in the dating scene. They're just having a blast.
Are they Gen Z? Are they younger or closer to our
One
age?
millennial, one Gen Z.
Okay, so Gen Z's, I don't even know what 24 and below, or
Something like
Like
that.
early
yeah.
20s.
Oh my God. Yeah. That does me feel perverted when I'm like out and about, like in like concerts or events. Now I'm one of the oldest person there, especially like in comedy. If I go to the city and all that, but those like Gen Zers, they look a little rough. You can know like how old they are until they start talking and you're like, wait a fucking second. How old are you?
Is true. What is that? Is it the beauty standards and what
No,
they
I think
do?
it's the vape.
The
vape and then
blue light, possibly, because they grew up like having the screen.
Yeah.
You guys, this is not to cut you down, but observationally, and I'm not saying we all look great, but you guys look a lot more.
I do.
You guys look more mature, I would say, in general than we did at your age. And I don't know what that is. I think when I was a teen, sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to look older. You don't want to look older.
Yeah.
You don't want to look older. Yeah. Like, look your age. I mean, granted, this was a movie, but I think it's kind of accurate to what I've seen around LA, California. Anne Hathaway was in a movie where she dated a younger guy. I think what was it called? It's on Netflix or something like that.
Oh, that's a fucking like soft porn for older women like us.
Totally. The idea of us. That is the title of the movie, and she plays a mom who's in her early 40s. She's early 40s, and then she has a romance with a 24-year-old.
A rock star.
A rock star who has money and buys
fame and everything and all this like entourage and groupies, but he only loves her. Oh my God. That's his soft porn for older women like us.
Anyway, she has a daughter in the movie who's a teen, but the daughter, and maybe because I like delusional of how old we are now, but I said she looks too old to be a teen. And I know they do cast older for like those films, but high schoolers now do look like how her daughter looked.
Yo, yeah. Like the I went on like a roast, comedy roast, and then one of the like Gen Z boys looked like his opponent said, "Oh, I'm fucking this bit up."
Take two.
Like take two. Rewind. She said the new 24 is the 42. All right, I'm fucking this shit up. Never mind. We'll cut this.
Well, I have find myself, because I historically have never been attracted to younger men. I typically like wisdom, and so it's usually older women and intellect. Now, though, I'm 42, this year turning 43, and I find myself finding young men attractive.
Oh my
like,
God.
I'm talking like 22.
Yeah.
Like young. It's young because some of you guys, like, you look like men, but then
until you talk.
But then there's moments where you do little things. You're like, oh, okay. You see the age is revealed. The maturity level is revealed.
Same.
No matter, even if you're an old soul or something like that, this body of yours has only been on the planet for 20 years or however many years. And so there is going to be a difference there. And so that part for me is a turn off, because for me, the wisdom and the intellect is a big thing for me, and that a lot of that comes with life experience. And when you're in your 20s in general, a lot of us, we think we know everything, and that's a sign that you are not mature. Is like, you think you know everything.
Yeah, same. Oh my God. Like, I always liked older men, always dated older men, and for some reason now I'm hitting like middle aged, and I find boys in their 20s attractive, and all of a sudden I feel like, shit, this is creepy.
It's, as a woman, it can feel creepy.
Yeah, last time, like, I hung out in in an event, and this young boy, like 23, 24, and complimented me on my looks, and like he was surprised like how old I actually am. And he's like, "Oh my God, I thought you were 24." Then I literally, no joke, I grabbed his hands and like, "Boy, you have no idea how happy you're making me right now. This compliment is gonna make me happy for a month at least." Oh my God. As much as I talk about, looks are shallow, some like compliments on my looks at this age go a long way.
They do. I mean, it's nice. My niece did give me a compliment recently. Well, she was saying, sorry, sis, but like they have one of those, it's like an iPad looking thing, and then like a photo, like montage comes through, so old photos are coming up, and then the kids are really young, and then she's like, my mom looks old. I'm blessed kids. They just no filter and they're honest. And I said, do I look old? And she said, no, you don't. She's like, my mom, see, like, she's got like dark circles under her eyes. And I'm like, dude, that's because of you, dude.
You sucked the life out of her.
Taking care of your ass. But she's like, no, you don't look old. I was like, oh, thank you. That's because I don't have kids yet. I don't look tired. But yeah, my sister did say, she's like, what really ages you is having kids. The lack of sleep alone. So it's understandable. But yeah, I do. It's weird. We're getting the age that I'm considering I'm like, do I need a refresher? You know, because things, they change. And I have some 20-year-olds who tell me like, it's all about the skin prep when you do your makeup. And I said, makeup goes on different on your skin when you start to get older, you know? He's like, no, it's the skin prep. Again, thinking that you know everything in your 20s. I'm like, hey, talk to me in 20 years, okay? So I was like, do we want to go to Korea next year and do some laser resurfacing?
Sure. Yeah, like I never thought I would be like that, but then you never know until you hit certain age. You're like, oh dang, especially looking at your younger photos. Yeah, that hit different.
Yeah, and you just have to. There's an acceptance of you can't fight that we're all going to age, and it's a blessing to be able to age.
And I talk about that with my husband too. We have like secure relationship, and we talk about it, and I said, you know, one day if I'm gonna try to upkeep my looks and my physiques as much as possible, so I don't need assistant to go to the bathroom. And I'm gonna, you know, one day if you know you need assistant, I'm gonna leave you there and hire. And then he's like, fine, just give me a really hot Filipino nurse. And I was like, I got you, bro. I got you.
It is tough. Do you think that literally, like, if it came time where, just say something happened to him now where he couldn't walk or something, would you take care of him?
Initially.
Yeah, but then long term.
Yeah, like just this is for I'm keeping it real. Long term, I need sex. It's very important to me. It's on top of the list.
That's actually, it's health. Yeah. Sex is health related. So, you know, they were saying that the majority of couples, or more than half, who have been married a long time, they stop having sex completely. But I view it more as a health thing. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, taking care of yeah.
Would you?
It's honestly long term, no. I think people are wired differently. I mean, Pete right now, he got foot surgery recently. He had bone spurs. He's been putting off the surgery, but he hasn't been able to exercise properly for years, like play his soccer. And that's a health related thing. So I said, get the surgery. Because he's like, maybe I'll push it back again. I said, no, get your surgery. He's in a boot. Initially, he's just on the couch. He can't do anything. Our house has a lot of stairs, so he's, you know, there. So I have to get him everything. And it's something I'm not used to. My number one is like, is he okay? Sometimes I think, do you ever think like, what if Brad dies? Or like, sometimes I think when I get home, like, what if Pete's dead or something like that? It scares me a lot. Like, is he okay? He was fine. And almost to the point where I was getting annoyed because he wanted to be babied with his little toe surgery. Given that it is surgery, okay, they have to cut it open. But I view it as like, you know, have some grit. You know what I mean? Maybe it was the way I was raised, but we didn't get babied. Like, are you okay? Yes, if you're in pain, you know, you should rest and things like that. But we didn't get babied. So when it's overly, like, you're talking about it a lot, like overly prepared, and I'm like,
what the fuck do you want me to do?
You'll be fine. And maybe it's, I've traveled a lot, I've been really lucky to see, but you just see a lot of things you think you need, you actually don't need. You know, the life that we have, all the shit we have in our house. When you have a baby, like, you need this crib and this kind of stroller for this and that. You only need one type of stroller. Okay, like when I did some volunteer work in Sierra Leone once, and, you know, I saw a baby sleeping in a laundry basket full of just clean, soft clothes. It was having amazing sleep, and I'm just looking at the baby. I'm like, that's all you need. You don't need this fancy crib that, you know, like this baby's probably happier than a lot of American babies, okay? So it's just all these things you think that you need, like, oh, I need a special bag to put the foot in when I shower. I said, just put it in a trash bag. Like, it works. Or just stick it out. You don't need as much as you need. So anyways, I could be a little tough when it comes to that. Yeah. I'm not naturally the most nurturing doesn't come natural to me. I do want him to feel good, and I don't want him to be in pain.
If you were the one that's sick, would you expect him to like baby
No.
you?
No.
That's good.
And
You're
that doesn't make me feel better. I acknowledge if someone their presence and quality time, like for example, if I'm sick and Pete will stock up the fridge with like fresh pressed veggie juices and things like that, that to me is my love language. It's not rubbing me like, how are you? It actually annoys me if you try to talk to me too much if I'm not feeling good. So everyone's different. Pete's love language is physical touch. And I think his mom was probably a little more gentle on him when he wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, men, like in general, they need to be babied when they're sick. It's like a little bit, they catch a little bit of cold or flu. They're like, oh, I'm chilly.
Yes. And
What
so
is it
sometimes I'm
about
like,
it?
yeah. I'm like, are you in that much pain? Like, to me, I understand surgery could be scary too, but the bones, to me, it isn't like a huge surgery, not cut. It's not like open heart surgery or something like that. And after, you get stabilized and you see like, oh, you're fine. Like, okay, you're fine now. And then I guess people are different and it's unfair of me to expect other people to do things I would, but just say if that were me and I got it, I would be scooting around. Like if I wasn't in pain, I would be scooting around and like doing things. I would want to. I wouldn't want to just be sitting there, babying myself. But I could be hard on myself, so I could be hard on others. I completely acknowledge that. And it's something I do want to work on. I never want to make Pete or someone feel like shit. That's not my intention.
But that's naturally that you just not, it doesn't come natural to be a nurturer or a caregiver. So that's just, be authentic. When we first moved to our house in the Bay Area, there was like a big old tree. It's a 2-story house, and the insurance company don't want to cover us because the tree branches are touching the roof. And then so Brad wanted to go up there and cut the branches himself to save money. And I got so fucking pissed. And this was before we got married. And then, and I told him that, okay, you want to save these like few $100s, but if you fucking fall, break your leg, become like fucking disabled and shit, just know I ain't taking care of you. I'm gonna have to like say this ugly shit up front so you're not expecting me like wiping your ass and not. And you gotta know this. Like I was really upset because he's a frugal person. He's like more Chinese than I am. Like to me, it's not worth it to save this much money and then have a risk of you falling. But
it's not uncommon for men to do that, and they do hurt themselves.
Something about like, I don't know, like masculine. It's like emasculine to like want to ask for help or pay for other men to do thing or whatever.
But
what
at some point, it's stupid. If you're older, 75, 80, like I had an uncle who like fell off a ladder trying to do something on the roof with like if you want to do that, have someone standing there. He was alone. Why would you do that? It's not smart.
Yeah, at some point you just have to accept that physically you're just not as mobile and you can hurt yourself. And for some reason, in general, men tend to, I think, ego or something. Anyway, so and then he went behind my back and went up there. Thankfully, nothing happened. But as a joke, we do talk about it and say if something happen like that where you become disabled, I won't drop you, I won't leave you, but just know I'll like take care of you and get you a hot nurse or something. But like, don't expect me to be like what's the word, like a bed assistant. Like just
that takes a certain personality.
I don't
to do well.
To like long-term care.
Because even that's good that you were transparent about that beforehand.
Because I know who I am. Like, I'm not a caregiver. I don't allow anybody to shame me for that.
I think it could be unfair that some people expect that you basically give up your life to take care of someone else. I guess it's values.
Yeah, and for myself, like you said, if I was in that position, I would not want him to give up his life
Yes.
and go on with it. Yeah, get me a hot nurse too. 1 or 2 or something.
No, I mean, that's the way, like, go live your life.
Yeah,
you should
exactly.
go live your life.
Yeah, and then if one day, it doesn't matter at what age, if I need assistant to wipe my ass, I'm gonna just go to Canada or like Switzerland or something, assistant of suicide or some shit. Like that's the time. Like, okay, I'm gonna go. I don't want to become a burden, and I don't want people to take care of me because of responsibilities and duty. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We do talk about that. Do you and P talk about like?
oh yeah,
like,
because when we did our what do they got, like the will and who power, is it power of
attorney?
Wait, who gets to pull the plug?
Yeah, power of attorney.
Yeah.
So financially and medically, they're two.
So we talked about all these things, like, hey, if you're like a vegetable in bed, like, would you want to be resuscitated? What would you want? And yeah, both of us agree. Like, quality of life, if you don't have good quality of life, what is the point? Like, we both wouldn't want to be here. If you're in pain, I do not want to be in pain. Constantly in pain. I don't want to be in pain. At that point, I would be for assisted suicide.
Yeah. The thing is about like, going back to the topics, it's like marriage, it gives you comfort knowing that you'd always have like partner there you can rely on. You going through like shit together, and then that's a good joy to have, but the trade-off is like freedom. Want to flirt with whoever you want to.
Well, flirting's a very natural thing, I think, for humans to do. I think I've been in the past very conservative about it. Like, I shouldn't be flirting. My thinking was I just never want to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
In any way. But it is natural to do. It's just an exchange of energy. And I think the intention behind it is also important. If I'm flirting with someone, the intention is not to try to pursue a relationship with them or hook up with them. It's just like a fun, quick exchange. Okay. And so I think I've loosened up a little bit with that.
It makes you feel lively.
Yeah. It is.
It's a good exchange. And then also like the primal instinct of want to hook up. I think it's the lowest form of attraction. Pleasure. There's a way that definitely like within, I'm sure like me and my husband too, he probably has work wife, and I've worked at different places, and then find people attractive where they do certain things that make me go, oh shit, that made my pussy tangle a little bit.
What's an example of like something that's happened recently that where you felt that way?
Oh my god. Okay, so this comedian friend, I really look up to him. He's really smart and just a well-rounded good man. And we were on the lineup and waiting for our turns to perform, and I bumped my head on a hook on the wall, and he saw that and then just subconsciously put his hand over the hook so my head don't get bumped to that again. And I was like, oh dang, because he didn't even do it out of like he wasn't being
like strategic with his actions.
So I pay attention to little details like that. I'm like, dang.
Thoughtfulness, considerate, and not not having an agenda. Just like it's a very, I guess, nurturing thing to do, like looking out for you.
Yeah. And then like hanging out with like this recent concert I went to. I hadn't been in a concert in like decades. Last one was in college or something.
So now all the phones are up.
Oh yeah, all the phones are up is different, and I'm surrounded with pheromones. These young girls, And because I hadn't heard of this band. It was my friend, and she was really in love with with the whole band. And then I went as a thing because it's a late night. I need to be rested by 10. But I went. I'm glad I did, because then like you feel like, oh, it's lively. It's the young energy. All those girls looking up to the lead singer, like, oh, come fuck me. And then it takes me back to, oh, I was young once. And then all this like chasing and having that butterfly where like just liking somebody because of just their energy and not overly calculating. It's just natural attraction and not over calculating that, oh, like what can he bring to the table. Like as you get older, you don't you're not impulsive with your feelings anymore. And you still do have feelings, but day-to-day life, real shit like bills and shit and real life problems, and you just become a little numb, and you forget that teen feeling of, oh my god. So yeah, that was really lovely. And yeah, but like like we were saying, it's natural. Even if you're in a marriage, I'm sure like my husband has work wife too, and I think it's great because in his field is engineering, and there aren't that many women to begin with. So I think it's a great for the like just work environment to have
Different
attractive, smart female engineers. So you bring your games a little sharper. In yeah, so
different energy.
Well,
I just think of when humans used to live in tribes, how there was just more community. It's not just you and another person. I don't think that that's natural. And also like you and another person to raise kids, it should be a community because it takes a lot of work. It's a lot of pressure if it's only two people. Yeah. So I do think that diffusing some of the energy, and I'm not talking about like polyamory or anything like that, but that there should be interactions with different types of people, and that it's natural. And of course, talk to that about your partner of what's considered cheating, what's if they're okay with like flirting or not, because for me, I value like respect a lot, mutual respect, and I wouldn't want to disrespect Pete. So something that he would find disrespectful, I would not want to do.
Yeah, now that we're older, it's easier to decipher, what feelings come and go, and you manage your feelings well. And if I do find someone that's very attractive to me, and we have close like interactions, and that I can easily channel that into inspiration, and because there's traits of this person I like, their characters, and I would want them to flourish in their fields, and then I don't know about working together.
It's so intimate because you spend so much time together and you're creating things together. You're solving problems together.
That's why
it's a partnership. Strong Coffee Company. What do you think?
This is perfect for lazy bitches like me. You can just pour the powders in and put hot water. You wouldn't believe it. My eyes was smaller than this. But after that, I'm awake.
Use code.
Oh, yeah.
What's our code? Not Your Asian Women at checkout for a nice little discount.
Enjoy your new crack.
Yeah, that's why like Hollywood couples don't usually last, because you're very intimate with your actor
on set for 16 hours a day for months.
Yeah, that takes a lot of like self-control. For sure.
Totally. I like self-control. I like when I see other people have it. I don't like impulsive. It's just very, it's not wise. And same with the shallow stuff. And I think it's natural when you're younger, because I've been there too. Like, you want to date the singer, the athlete, the oh he's hot, or maybe you don't like value, or you think it'll bring more value to you if you're with someone who you deem as like famous or super hot or something like that.
Yeah, the chuckle fuckers, the fame fuckers.
Yeah, where it doesn't bring any value to who you are. But as long as you know what you're signing up for, if you're pursuing that.
Yeah.
As long as you're clear, if that's my piece of advice, if you're just say you want to date an athlete, know what you're signing up for.
Exactly. Like the concert I went, oh, those young girls just cannot control themselves. And especially this one girl, she's like all in. If there was nobody else, she would like throw herself at the band. And I'm like, oh my God, you don't even know who they are.
Right.
What if they're a fucking dicks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
don't,
just
it's
because
the image of them that you're attracted
yeah,
to.
you're creating you don't even know who they are in real, and then, yeah, that's just a very small part of their life on stage.
It's
and
not,
especially in comedy with I know some of these guys and still like girls in the audience, they see them because they're funny and they throw themselves at them. I'm like, oh my God, you don't even know the type of fucking ass he is. It pains me, but they're just well, when you're young, you know,
it is different.
You can manage what you find attractive.
That is true until you do introspection, until you date more, learn more about yourself. If you choose to want to heal, I think a lot of those attractions just say you want to date someone famous, or there's something within you, or toxic, right? There's something within you that is seeking this unhealthy dynamic. If that works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, maybe, go on a healing journey. And at least for me, I'll just speak for myself. Once I healed, I started to choose better, because I used to go after the bad boy or someone who didn't want to commit or emotionally unavailable. And that was a pattern of mine. I'm the constant variable. So what is it in me that finds this so attractive or familiar? So I dissected and did the work over, the course of years, dated more. So I learned a lot and ended up where I'm at.
That's why you do need to date more. I know a lot of these young people are saying that. What's the fucking point? I will always get ghosted, wasting time, and it goes nowhere. And I'm so like triggered. I don't need to be dating. Like, I don't need a man, or I don't need a woman, the toxicity or something. But that's the thing, is like, that's what courage is. You expose yourself to trauma and pain, and then you learn how to heal, and through dating, you know yourself.
Relationships are learning about yourself. It's just holding up a mirror to yourself. So if you're having triggers, maybe get curious, like, what is this?
And have fun. Just
and learn to have fun dating. That was my goal, because I didn't know how to have fun dating. Yeah. It was always like, I'm trying to get this to work and I'm failing over and over. But the whole point is to be curious and have fun. So I eventually made that my goal. Am I being curious and having fun? If I am, then that's a success. And that's actually shortly after I met Pete. It puts you in a place to date healthy and meet your person.
Yeah. And that's what Green Light by Matthew McConaughey, I read his book, and then he, for a while, like, he was just a fuckboy. And he met his wife while he was in the best place, and he was healing. And it just happened naturally. So that's something you can't force. You have to have fun. You have to know who you are, and not let this other person's ghosting you or leaving you on red to trigger you. And maybe it's a good thing to find out that what triggers you.
It is a good.
What
I
this
think
person
it's a good thing.
says that trigger you, and then you learn through that. And if you have the mentality of just having experiences and learning yourself, is better than, I have to make this work, or I need to get married by a certain age. or whatever. I'll just wait until the perfect person falls on my lap. It doesn't really happen like that.
No,
And,
there's a lot out of your control. You have to be okay with that. And I do think it's healthy to get to a place where you feel okay alone. And you can still desire a relationship, but you feel happy with yourself alone and being okay if it never happens.
Yeah,
For
you have to love who you are when you're in a relationship.
In order for it to be healthy, yes.
Yeah. And or even dating or flirting, whatever stage of relationship you are. Like you need to love that person. And if you don't feel comfortable and triggered, you're just very anxious, maybe like look within like what triggers that and then use that as a tool to heal you instead of letting it go in your head and make you feel you're less than or you're not valued, loved because certain people ghosted you. But that's the thing is that it takes a lot of pain, a lot of trauma to get to that place. And unfortunately, without it, you just won't have
The beauty comes with the pain.
pain for sure.
I saw something, but they're talking about having a dog. It's like having a good dog, the price you pay is a broken heart. Because at some point, you're going to outlive them. And it's so true. The trade-off. I remember when my first dog died. That's the most pain I've ever been in to this day.
Yeah.
And it took me over 3 years to consider getting another dog because I was in so much pain. I said, do I want to do this again? And I think after healing, it's a payoff. Like I get 10 to 15 years, hopefully, with, another dog. And I'm going to have to experience pain again. And now Pete and I, we have 2 dogs. Love them. Last night, one kept me up all night by having explosive diarrhea. But you know what? The trade-off is just, it's so worth it.
Yes, I agree. Having my dog died a few years back, it was the best thing that happened to me.
Cracks your heart open, actually.
Yes. Before that, I was very anxious and I was pretty negative outlook in life. Like, what's the point of this? If it doesn't work, then what's the point of even trying? And having to face death in front of my eyes, it made me realize, the point is because it ends. Every relationship ends. Even with my marriage, one of us is going to die. And that means ending. And every love relationship, it ends up dying or not leaving. It's not forever. Nothing is forever. This whole it's nothing or forever. It's a very anxious outlook in life.
And kind of avoidant too,
Avoidant,
right?
yes. And it's because relationship, love ends because it's painful and you know it. And that's why you learn to appreciate the present moment you have with your dog, with your child, with your family, any meaningful relationship, someone you're dating. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you put 100% in there, and so that you love who you are, how courageous you are in that relationship, knowing that it's going to end. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of life. Because there's death. Yeah. Because there's ending to things. Yes. And that's what I learned when my dog died. Oh. And it did take me... the good thing is we had time to say goodbye. And they were... I had some close friends that didn't have... can you imagine?
It's that sudden.
So it does make you appreciate life. And I read this read this book written by a ex FBI agent, spy agent, and the name of the book is Tell the Truth. And he had interviewed some heinous evil people. He had seen the most evil shit in the world and traveled around, and I'm talking about like terrorists and like a real dark side of human, and how to make them open up, how to make them tell the truth. And he actually said by abusing them, torturing them to get stuff out of them is actually the lowest form of that. It doesn't usually work. And there were like tips of you mustn't judge. You need to listen to them, make them feel comfortable, because human within us, we want to open up. Like it's within our DNA. It's this heavy burden, and it corrupts you inside. You want to tell somebody, and because of that coded DNA, and you have to find a way to make them talk and whatever. You can look up the book, but he said not a lot of people can do that, because you constantly face yourself into the darkest side of human. And his like partner or family asked him like, how do you even deal with that? And he said, because I know how dark human can be, I try to do good as much as I can, and I try to love my kids as much as I can. And it makes me appreciate the light of human. So when he comes home to his family, and he's not, it's not like, oh, this is so fucking dark, I can't take it. And it makes him even love harder, knowing that one day he's not going to be around. So I feel, but that's the thing, is without experiencing pain, trauma, death, the real helplessness, and seeing your loved one go, without all this pain, you cannot appreciate what true courage is.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's just what you have to go through. What you have to have heartbreaks to know how precious love is. And you still, like, knowing shit ends and still love hard, knowing that this isn't gonna work out, but you still put 100% in. I think that's the beauty of it, and not focusing on, and not let fear dictates you. Like, oh, if I open up, this person is going to hurt me, just like the last fuckboys, whatever, and woman that cheated on me. And now I'm going to close up my heart to protect me. Yes, at the moment, it feels comfortable, and it feels like, oh, I'm protecting myself, and it feels justified. But in the long run, you're hurting yourself. You're limiting yourself to greater potentials. There's a risk of love. You just knowing that you might get hurt. And even with loving relationship, one of us is going to die. And still you still throw yourself out there to love harder, and focusing on the present moment is the real lesson here. Yeah, I said a whole bunch of shit.
I'm sleepy.
So yeah, I just but the thing is, like, because I'm older, I've gone through real pain in life. And
I trust people more who have gone through pain. If you've never had a broken heart before, I don't trust you or the depth of the relationship that you can have. You're probably not showing, you're not being vulnerable enough, or not showing people who you are. Being a little too safe. Everyone's different, because you're going to have the polarity of both, the joy, the pleasure, and then also, oh God, the pain and the heartbreak. It's been a while since I felt that. Oh my God, it's not fun.
Yeah,
but it's life is all of it. It's all the emotions.
I learned to appreciate that whenever I feel anger, feel jealousy, feel insecurity, feel all kinds of pain. It makes me feel like life. Like I'm alive. Like, oh, like it's the worst when you just numb yourself and shield yourself
my
from pain.
gosh.
You're not protecting yourself. You're hurting yourself
Totally.
from life.
Living.
From living.
1000%.
Yeah, it just I don't I don't wish pain, but unfortunately you have to go through that to learn. And because I'm like older, and when I'm with younger girlfriends, and when they're expressing their thing that I had gone through, I don't preach that or correct them. I try to encourage them or to see the bright side of it. But again, when you're in that darkness, it's hard to see it.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everyone has to, like, they live their own life and has to go through what they go through to learn. I've had to learn to let that go with trying to give advice to my younger friends. And sometimes I said, I forget how old you are. And that, because when I was their age too, you have to go through that. You have to choose someone who's maybe not the ideal partner to learn something. And from an outside point of view, I can see like you're going to crash and burn. I imagine it's like that if you have kids too, and how difficult it is to watch them when you know they're going to crash and burn.
But that's unconditional love.
Yes. And well, yeah, of course. Of course, if their safety is, at risk, that's different. But this, like, okay, it's maybe not the smartest choice, but maybe it's what she needs. And then, I've watched, and then it doesn't go well. And I've heard different things like, oh, I feel really like foolish or stupid. And they take that and then they move forward with dating.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I wasn't the smartest girl either. Like, shit, I'd pay for it. Like, I was into broke guys.
Did you say you're still into broke guys?
Yeah, I just happened
to. What is that?
Honestly, it is a control thing, because I feel like I have the upper hand. Because I all the guys I dated before, even with my current husband, when I met him, he had negative money, and I paid for his debt and all that. And I just have a fucking habit of paying for guys' rent, buying them PlayStations, buying them watches. And when I was like in like high school, my first like puppy love, I used to buy lunches and dinners for him and all his bros. And I don't know what is it. I'm just like, maybe deep inside, I didn't feel like myself is worth enough for somebody to love me. And I have to present values. And the only thing of a value I know is money. So maybe. But then I happen to get like lucky, because my current husband is, he possesses a good leadership skills and traits that set him financially better. And when I came along, so I kickstarted his career. I constantly remind him that. But to be honest, that's like pure luck, because I chose wisely of the characters. But like when I was, because that's learning though, I had to date like trash, had like guys that just used my money, had zero responsibilities, zero personal accountabilities at all. And then I had to like get hurt and learn, oh shit, these aren't the characters that I should be choosing as a long-term partner. And then I learned to choose well by eating shit. And you learn that characters are what's important
for long-term. Yes, characters. So for example, for me, like integrity, generosity, loyalty. Yeah. Those are all good signs. A genuine interest in other people, genuine interest in you and your family. Ooh, that's a big one.
Oof, yeah, I know. Yeah, and the first boyfriend, oh my God, he wasn't a bad person, but he had just a zero ambition. like bad tattoos covered, like just wrong life choices visibly can see on his skin. It was in a band. I had to pay for everything, rent and food, and he stole money from me.
Oh my gosh. This is in high school?
No, this was in Atlanta.
Wait, so how old are you? This is after college?
Yeah. While I was in college.
While you were in college. Okay.
I was still a teen, like 18, 19 or something. Yeah.
I've dated that type as well in high
But
school.
it's like, no. If something were to happen to Brad, I don't know. I can't control who I'm attracted to. Probably I'm become sugar mom to some fucking like
They say that.
artiste.
Well, they do say it's common after women get a divorce. If she gets divorced, she'll date younger. It's not uncommon.
Yeah. And there's some reason just like, yeah, I don't know why. Oh Lord, please no.
Yeah, I don't.
As much as I love like travel well, eating good, Michelin, and it's just I had never dated rich dudes that provided me those luxury lifestyle. Never.
I haven't long term, short term. I have, and I think I'm the opposite of you. Like I can't do broke. Like I want money.
Me too.
And actually, ideally too. Like Pete, well, he's in career transition right now, but his work ethic is there. That's a character trait as well, that he finds purpose in work, and I like that. I don't like laziness or someone who just likes to sit around. No, ambition is not attractive to me. A sense of duty is very attractive to me. He has a sense of duty, but he, in terms of our home, he pays for most of the things, and I like that. And yeah, I do. I like nice vacations or the option to have them. I like eating well. You know, it's that's important to me. And I just like money. I like money.
We all do.
I just view it as an option. You have more options when you have money.
Yes. Freedom. Money is
Because
freedom.
I value freedom a lot. But the dating broke guys and taking care of someone, I think there's something that's ick or like a turn off of me where it feels too motherly. Like I don't, maybe it feels, I've done it before. In high school, but it feels unfamiliar to me, where the dynamic I like is I would prefer to be taken care of. Everyone's different.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just can't help who I'm attracted to. Even with like the attractions recently I have towards people like all
The young
type
dudes?
of people, the young dudes, and some bisexual women too. And they're just like broke as fuck. I'm like, what is it about me?
They're vulnerable.
Oh, that could be. Yeah, that could be too. Maybe like I'm a predator. But what kind of predators like give money to them? Kickstart their career.
Hi everyone. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, or share with your friends. Or you know what? Leave a comment. We love comments, whether they're good or bad. Haters,
Please, we love you.
help our algorithm.